This recording, I never thought I'd have to do, but I'm doing this at the urging of my publisher. Due to some unforeseen events, I'm not at liberty. I'm not going to discuss here, but I am having to take a small stand and make a declaration of things. And you guys get to have that benefit because you get a free story set in the Mourn universe. A bit ago, I made a video about hashtags before another project began to take shape. One of those hashtags was Lavender Sky. I'm going to be doing a video about the Lavender Sky name. I've repositioned it and transformed it into something else entirely. This is a free story that you guys will get here. It takes place before the events of a book that will come out late in the series called Gothic Razor. It involves a concept that I have toyed with for 30 plus years because I've loved the urban legend, and the urban legend has been an obsession of mine since junior high. You'll see, my D&D group got to encounter this race, and I always wanted to do something with it later on, but events have made it so I have to do something early on, which is fine. That means you guys get to see a little bit of behind the scenes magic. It should be noted that if any bad actors are in the comments, they'll be immediately removed and reported to YouTube. That goes along with any social media attached to this video series because it will be highly publicized in the near future. With that being said, I present to you part one of this short story called Lavender Sky. And forgive my breathing and my speech. I may stutter a bit. I'm now seeing a speech therapist because I've recently come back from a bad physical ordeal. That being said, let's begin. Sky looked around the vast open plain, looking for her friend's house. Her ability to fly had been a happy accident, but it did afford some of the more spectacular views on Mourn. Sunny days with gentle breezes were the best, as she could relish in the air tickling under her lavender fur, all the way up to the end of her tail. Her long pointed ears were tucked under and back by a helmet and goggles she wore to keep bugs and other things from her eyes. She also wore a rebreather for the same reason. A heroic guise had been recently designed for her, consisting of a purple leather jacket, gloves, and boots with white streaks along the sides. Sky had swooned at herself in the mirror and knew she had to share it with her friend. Willing herself to speed up, the enigmatic Lavender Sky hurtled ahead in a burst that made her slam through a cloud. As she slowed to wipe the goggles dry, the readout on her goggles let her know the house was close. She sent her friend a call to warn of her imminent arrival. "Hello?" came a voice over the helmet speaker. Sky, I could have come to the city for a visit. Why did you fly all the way out here? Rova, darling, Sky chided as she landed in front of a path leading up to a quaint cabin nestled on a hilltop. When have you ever known me to resist visiting my big sister? Besides, I got to have a test flight in my new look. You let the tailor make you an outfit? Rova said, cutting off, opening the door to her cabin. Are you going for purple people eater vibes, or maybe clown prints? Removing her helmet, Sky let her ears perk up. Her signature mohawk perked up as well as she walked up the path. Rova Maltese, the Tailypo of Earther lore, was wearing a robe and comfy slippers, her long black tail swishing back and forth behind her. I love this color. It blends nicely with my fur, and it complements my eyes. She flashed her yellow eyes at her big sister with a smirk. I can disown you, Rova said, mocking her. Our sistership is not by blood. You're just mad because I didn't choose to be all dark and grim like that group you hang out with. You three are so moody all the time. Lavender Sky stopped in front of the door and stared her lifelong best friend in the eyes. In all the years the two Tailypo had been sisters, there had never been a time when Sky had been able to make Rova flinch first. Without warning, Rova's tail brushed Sky's cheek, making her giggle. Got you again. Why do I always fall for it? Sky cried, stamping her feet. Yeah, you are still the reigning empress of the Great Stair, but mark my words, I will make you flinch. The two hugged, and Rova turned to showcase the interior of the cabin. It was an open-air 3-story affair with additional floors descending instead of ascending. Her top floor had all the basics, including Rova's bed, which was currently in disarray. Yes, you woke me up. This is my first day of rest in weeks. 10 hours of sleep felt great. And that Earther hunter, stuck on the broken home, Rova said. His mechanical hellhounds were destroyed, but I am sure he can tinker together more. Since the only way back to Mourn is through Avalon, he will have an impossible task of returning unnoticed. And you are satisfied with this outcome? I mean, he did chop off your tail and try to eat it, Sky shuddered. As the two descended to the bottom floor, Rova stopped on the second floor and whisked her tail about. I got it back. The doctors fixed me up. Oh, you have to see what I came up with. My turn to show you some fashion. Racing down to the third floor, Rova hopped up and down in front of an alcove that housed her armor. Sky watched as the lights flicked on to reveal the dark gray leather that her sister wore as a heroic. Also on the wall were her trademark whips, which were segmented strands, metal coated over a strong inner wire. A third whip, she asked, looking at the odd third weapon. It seems heavier than the others. Wait, no. Yes, Rova screamed in joy. That bastard is never cutting my tail again. And now I am the first ever tri-wielding heroic on Mourn. I have to say, Sky said, if I were a gang member trying something in your patrol area, I would surrender. Some might even be overwhelmed by the coolness of it all. I know my little group plays up the intensity, especially Gothic, but we do have hearts under our grim exteriors. But I want an honest opinion from my little sister. Give me a few minutes. Disrobing down to her athletic shorts and top, Rova stepped into the alcove. With the press of a button, machinery came to life, assisting the dark-furred Tailypo into her armor. After a bit of time, the dark armor with purple trim covered her, an angular helmet that neatly arched back with her ears rested atop her head. A purple-lit visor sprang to life, along with her whips and tail armor. Every time I see this look, I wonder if you three are ever going to go really dark on us, Sky said. But I know that deep in my big sister is the heart of a bunny. Flipping her tail outward, Rova gave it a quick crack. Purple highlights sprang over the tail armor with the miniature sonic boom. Sky giggled as Rova said, "Take that back, or there will be pain." "From what? Your unwashed dishes?" And with that, I will see you guys in the near future. And thank you for listening.